Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. My name's Soleil and I garden in a Zone 6A in mid-Michigan, and we're going to be doing some random garden chores today. And I thought today we would start with trimming some heuchera. I think a lot of people wonder what to do with these heuchera in the spring, and they look kind of funny, so let's take a look and we'll see what we've got going on. So back here in this garden bed right now, we have some bilberry heucheras, and if you can tell, we've got some nice fresh growth on the top of them, but all of the old growth is just kind of laying flat, and I want to get that out of the way before I mulch this garden bed. So that's what we're going to get after. Well, we've just had some pretty good rain in the garden. I have to say, I don't think we need any more anytime soon. At this point, we are getting ready to probably have lots of significant growth. So in order just to trim these back, I just go around the edges. It's nice to wait a little bit until the new foliage comes out so you can kind of get an idea of where the edge of that foliage is, and just kind of follow that circle around with your secateurs. Now this isn't 100% necessary to do. I could just mulch over these leaves because they are going to die, but I would prefer to just clean them up and give me some room to put that fresh mulch around this plant. Heucheras are wonderful perennials to have. They grow quite well and they are very colorful. They come in so many different colors, and they usually grow in like zones 4 to 8 or sometimes even 9. So quite a range of hardiness zones that they go in, and they grow well in some shade and some sun. So take a look at the tags, because some of them are better suited for a little bit of sun and some of them are suited better for all shade. Can make a really nice plant along the edges of borders, as well as under maybe some shrubs that you might tree form or things like that. They do stay semi-evergreen as well during the winter in some parts. Some parts of the country, they probably are evergreen completely and have foliage on them all year round. Unfortunately, I'm not quite that lucky. We do see a little bit, but not much. And this will just make them look nice and fresh. And I'm glad these are growing really well, because the bunny did eat them off, but they didn't eat the crown, which is the most important part that they grow from. So you can see what a nice quick task that was to get those cleaned up and tidy. Certainly didn't take long, but it looks a whole lot better, doesn't it? Another thing it's definitely time to do is to trim this butterfly bush. So there's some nice new growth down around the base, but all of this wood up top is dead. So we're just going to come through, cut those off. I've got a few of these, so let's get those taken care of. Now if you look really closely, you can see at the base where that new growth is coming in. So there is this one other butterfly bush that I would like to get clipped back. And just like the other one, we're going to come in nice and close here, cut right down at the bottom. And then you can see that new growth that's coming in, and that's what you want. So this one will grow about 18 inches tall. And this is a pugster pink, and it is absolutely beautiful, but it won't bloom for oh, quite some time, probably the end of June, something like that. It's got to be nice and warm for those butterfly bushes to bloom. And then they just continue to bloom and bloom all summer long. Well, the freeze got some things, and some things are going over, and one of them is daffodils. And so this time of year I like to just come through and pop their heads off here. That way any seeds that are setting don't set, and it allows the greenery to continue to look beautiful while it also absorbs the energy from the sun and turns it into food for the bulbs that are down underneath the soil. And they will come back nice and full again next year. One other thing that I'd like to do is see if I can pull this tulip foliage out, because it did not bloom this year. And that just means that it's probably not going to bloom again next year either. Even if I don't get the bulbs, that's okay. Because they'll just come back weaker next year. All right, another garden task that I have been dreading is this one, which is I'm going to have to pull out these boxwoods. I believe they have boxwood blight. You can see the spotting on the leaves and some of them turning black. So boxwood blight is a fungal disease, and it's not something that you can easily eradicate. You can cut them off at the top and hope that the boxwood grows back, but I don't think that that's a very good long-term plan. So we're going to take them all out, and I'm going to hope that these are the only ones affected. I do have one in another area that appears to be affected, so we're gonna put them all in trash bags and get rid of them. All right, here we go. So basically the ground is super duper moist, so we're just going to try to pull them. All of them have small spots on them, and I blame the most incredibly wet winter that we've had. I can't pull these. My husband might be able to, but not me. Oh yeah, try and shake some of that off. Here. Now you also can't replant in these holes, boxwood, so I will not be having a boxwood hedge here any longer. And I will be cleaning this shovel off after we do this work, and throwing out my gloves, because I have a lot of boxwood, you guys know, in the front and back gardens, and I really do not want to have to dig them all out because they provide such nice evergreen interest. And I know they're coming out with newer, better blight resistant varieties. But it would be very expensive to replace all of them at the same time, because I have so many. I'll just have to keep watch on the ones that I do have throughout the garden that I'm not removing today, in the hopes that they don't get it, and just kind of go from there. It's a shame because, you know, these have been here for about 5 or 6 years, and they've all done really well except for usually the one that's at the base of the downspout here. But that's okay. This is, you know, an opportunity to reconsider what I have here, think about what might do better here. And that's part of gardening. Just reassessing and redoing things when you have to.
Sides are the therapy. Gonna get this.
We'll have to take a trip to the dump with the Boxwoods. That one's a newer one. Well, there we have it. They are all pulled up and it's a wide open path other than the liatris and some dianthus that are there, and we'll just have to go with the flow and figure out what will be next. Okay, let's go and trim back some lungwort that is just at the end of its bloom cycle. And the important part of doing this is because it can be easy to succumb to powdery mildew in my area. So after it gets to right about this point where it's seeing just the last bits of its bloom, I come in and I just go all the way down to the base and cut it back. And I know some people don't do this, but for me, it has proved to be the best way that I can actually manage them and make sure that I don't get that powdery mildew early in the season that can spread to lots of different ones. And you can take care of powdery mildew with a fungicide, but I prefer not to have to do that if I don't need to. So this helps to prevent that. So you can see I'm just cutting each bloom stalk off, and then you're left with the base of the plant, which will soon leaf out with some beautiful new fresh leaves, and you already are starting to see some of those pop up right here. And lungwort are a really wonderful plant for shade, even maybe part sun in some of the northern climates, that can help fill a border that maybe you're having trouble with growing something in dry shade. And these can do really well. Well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this little short video on some of the things I'm doing around my garden just to tidy up and keep on top of things before everything will suddenly start sprouting and it's going to go wild and it's going to be lush and full in no time. So it's important for me to try to get these things taken care of, and I need to get the mulch finished as well. So I'm just checking a few things off my to-do list today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the garden next time. Bye!